Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I am Jaleesa of Jaleesa Reads, and this is your place for Black books, real life, and everything in between. Let's do my July reading wrap up and also talk about my August TBR and the reading challenge that I'm doing to finish out 2026. Okay, so again, I track all of my reading in the Storygraph app. I really love it. I now am used to logging it there. Everything I do reading wise, book wise, it goes there. So let's talk overall stats. You can see it. So I read 15 books, 4,890 pages. This was surprising. My average rating was a 3.98. That's less than a 4. I think it's getting strict around here. Strict for me, okay? Because really, I'm the kind of reader, like I'm not a technical reader. Like I notice when things are wrong, when editing needs to be tightened up, but like I read for a good time. Like, am I enjoying the characters? Am I enjoying the story? If I am, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna finish that book. On average, it took me 6 days to finish books this month, which is interesting. Another month where majority of the books that I read were audiobooks. So I read 15 books. 60% of those was audio. I don't know the math on that. Hold on. I can actually give me a second. 9 of the books I read was audio. That's interesting to me. That's interesting to me. Okay, so let's do a yes, no, maybe. Well, and then obviously I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about what I loved, what might have worked, what might not have worked for me with each book. So Quest 2 by India Ray, this is picking up from Quest. I really liked book 2. Like I really like the fact, this is a yes, that like it didn't take us long to get to what we needed to get to. Like I hate when one book leaves off on a cliffhanger and then we open up the second book and we're like at a completely different place. Like go back to where you left me, pick me up there, and then we can go forward. The cliffhanger on the end of this book was actually quite insane. All right, which leads me to Quest 3 by India Ray. Yes, but I will say, I don't feel like these need to be 3 books. I feel like this could have been wrapped up in 2 books. I don't think we needed a third book. It just some places kind of just slowed down for me, and I was just like, okay, I'm ready to move on. Still very invested in the story, still invested in the characters. I feel like it didn't need to be 3 books. I still enjoyed it nonetheless, but could it have been done in 2? It could have. It was still a yes. I'm very excited about Justice's book, the sneak peeks that India Ray is putting in her Facebook group. Yeah, I will be waiting for all 3 books to be out though. The way that lady does cliffhangers, I don't want no parts of that. Truly, I'm not. I don't want no parts of that. Booked Boyfriends, Bad Decisions. This I got from the Libro FM ALC program. I really enjoyed it. Like I literally just needed something to listen to, and I saw it. This is by A Blossom. This is about a content creator. She's actually a book girly, a big one, because she is invited on a couple's brand trip, but she ain't got no couple. So then she asked her best friend, who happens to be one of her first boyfriend's brother, to accompany her. And then I mean, y'all know what happens, right? They went to Tanzania, girl. They was in Africa. I want to go to Tanzania one day. When they get there, there's a little kink that pops up in their plans, and it just kind of goes from there. But I like really enjoyed it. It got to a point in the story where I didn't want to stop. I think I had to get out the car, and I was like, oh damn, I kind of want to finish reading this one. But yeah, this was a yes. Okay, The Secret World of Maggie Gray and the First Family, both by Granger. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Now, let me start by saying, for me, these are definitely books that I needed to uh, read via my ears, not my eyes. And I'm okay with that. So I did the audiobooks for the entire Maggie Gray series so far, which is 4 books. I think at this point, I'm just going to wait for Alchemy of Souls, which is book 5, to come out on audio, which I think that'll be out in November. I can wait. I don't know. I didn't know what was going on in The Secret World of Maggie Gray, but I knew that I was interested in these characters. I love the setting and like the representation of the underground and like its own world. I just was excited to be along for the ride. And then The First Family, which is book 2, things started to kind of like fall into place and to shape themselves. There was some controversy about this book. And not really about the book itself, just kind of how the book was spoken about. And it made me more excited to get into the book. I feel like when books have a little controversy, there's a little dust up about them. Like I want parts of that. Why do people feel so strongly? And I'm gonna be honest. I think points were made on both sides for the people who didn't quite enjoy it, who found issues with the first book and decided not to continue on with the series, and for the people who are like, yeah, you got to understand this is book one of like a 7 book series. You got to give stuff time to develop. I am also very familiar with the way that Granger tells stories. So like I know that she is just going to go with where the characters are taking her, and through that a plot will then make itself and kind of develop. Nonetheless, yes, if you have not gotten into the Maggie Gray series, if you like urban fantasy, because I'm pretty sure this is like urban fiction fantasy, I think is the technical genre for it. It's good. It's good. And I have heard book 5 is just, I can't wait to get over there. I really can't. Wrong Door, a short psychological horror by Nicole B. Yes. But please know you're going to get to the end of this book and be like, what the fuck did I just read? Because that is still how I feel. This book, I think, was like 40 pages. It took me less than an hour to read it. And the whole time I was sitting there on my phone, not on my phone, my Kindle reading it, I was like, what's going on? I thought I knew what was happening. And then I didn't know what was happening. And I kind of think I know what happened at the end, but maybe I don't. I don't know. But it was a good time. I'm definitely going to go back over to that lady's catalog. This was my first read from her. If that is how she is coming, I think I think I deserve more parts of that. It was a good time. It was a good time. Summer and Julie by Grace Huffington. This is urban romance, urban fiction by Grace Huffington, who is another pen name for Gray Huffington. Love Gray Down. You know, I love a female character that just don't give a fuck. Truly, I don't. I do. And Hyphen just didn't care. Like Hyphen started off way in love. And then she said, you know what, fuck this. And these men. If I can't rob you, I don't really have time for you. The thing about it is Flacco was not letting up on her. Flacco said, oh, I got my chance. So sorry to your plans. It's not what you thought was gonna happen, isn't gonna happen. They were very complicated. The push and pull was a lot. It was majority of the book. I will say I wanted, if I could have got like a couple more scenes of just them together, I think that would have made this a 5-star for me. I still really enjoyed it, but I wanted more couple time. Which is funny because Range by Gray Huffington was a yes. I felt the same way with Range. Like I really enjoyed Range, and oh God, what is his name? It's Josiah, ain't it? Oh shit. See, here I am. What's his name? It's Josiah. Is it Josiah? I'm pretty sure it's Josiah. Oh my God. Why don't I remember it? Hold please, guys. Josiah Range. Right. This is ridiculous. Okay, yes, Josiah. I like Josiah, right? I wanted to see, I'm trying not to spoil this. I want to see Josiah in the real world, not only where we saw him. Again, I just wanted, I don't know that I'll say I felt cheated, but like I needed to see more of Range and Josiah as a couple on page. And again, I know he has his book, like his little short that will come out. She does that with all of the partners. So I'm sure I'll get that there, but I wanted it in Range. That would have really made that book a bit higher as far as the rating is concerned. The Three Brothers by Granger. Yes, hell yes. Again, I'm obsessed with this series. Like I'm in it. I'm actually very excited that we get to dress up for it, hopefully for Black Romance Book Fest next week. Not next week, next year. Like, who am I gonna be? I don't know. Go over there. I'm Fine Thanks by Jacquel J. Yes, this was a reread. I decided to do the audio. Boy, I forgot how incredibly frustrating story was. And it's funny because I just finished Yeah, Thanks, which is book 2 in the series. Harlem's book. I can't remember if it's Yeah, Thanks or whatever. I just finished Harlem's book. Everybody's so damn stubborn. And like the thing that was so frustrating about Story for me is like she knew She was saying, she was like, I don't know why I'm letting this man do this to me. Like, I need to be setting a better example for my girls. Like, she knew these things, but she was not acting because she was still giving chance after chance after chance after chance. Let him go. Because did you not know what was waiting for you in the corner, sister? You over here struggling. It didn't even have to be that way. It didn't. Anyways, I really like when Jacqueline gets in her contemporary bag. I really do. I do. The Mortal Affairs, a dark academy fantasy by Granger. So this is book 4 in the Maggie Gray series. It is by far my favorite book in the series. This actually runs concurrently with the events of the first 3 books. And it follows Hamora and Trevor. They work, I can't remember the name of it. It's like, I guess you would call it like the FBI of the underground. Hamora is very straight laced. She gave me Monk. She, Hamora gave me Monk, and Trevor gave me Sean from Psych. So if Monk and Sean from Psych partnered up, that's kind of the vibes I got from Hamora and Trevor. Now you throw in them being black and magical and the sexual tension. Ah, ate it up, ate it up, and it added so much history. And now I feel like as I've gone in each Maggie Gray book, I'm like, okay, I can figure out, I can kind of see, I see things forming, pictures, I see where things are going. This one brought it all together. I feel like I know exactly what's going on. I have the context I need for what happened in the past, and now I cannot wait to see what happens in the future. Oh, and can I just say, Tree Taylor, because I've done the audio, as I said, I had done the audiobooks. Highly, 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 highly suggest the audiobooks. What Tree Taylor did with Hamora, with every character, oh, she honestly deserves awards. I think Deion Graham was the male narrator. He did a good job too, but like, Tree, sister, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm thirsty. All right. Falcon, the football player by Beloved. This was another audiobook I got from the Libro FM ALC program. This was a maybe. It's like fake dating, brother's best friend, and like it kind of took a turn towards the end that pissed me off because it didn't really, I don't know. It felt like we were adding additional conflict for really no reason. Like with the way the conflict started off in the beginning of the book, like we didn't need the additional, and I get why it was addressed. I don't know. I feel like it was addressed too late and like everything wrapped up too fast. I don't know. So it was a maybe. Heartbeat, a courageous love novel by Therese M. Clarke. So this is an interracial romance, and it is Black woman, white man. I, in the past, have not enjoyed those books. One, I realize now I have not been reading interracial romance written by Black authors. It had been previously written by white women. They weren't doing it for me at all. This I really enjoyed. Mike and Maya, what a time. First of all, let me say this. Therese, the way she writes is very breadcrumby. Like, she gonna drop something in chapter 1 and you're like, I feel like I should remember this, but it's not gonna come back up to again to like chapter 21. And so I appreciate like following along. I will say there are lots of storylines going on, so you do have to pay attention. But she wrote the tension, the yearning in this book between this white man and this Black woman. Mm, mm. It was delicious. And like, it has like a romantic suspense because Maya, who's our FMC, is on the run. She got a whole bunch of secrets. Mike has moved back to this town that his father essentially terrorized his whole life. And so he is like feels all this guilt, but he wants to protect. And like the way they meet, he arrests her. And then there was like a medical emergency, and then all this other stuff happens, and family. It's a lot going on. And the only reason I read this book is because I wanted to read book 3 in the series. But I don't believe in reading series out of order. So I needed to go back to book 1. And I'm glad because I feel like book 1 really sets kind of the foundation for what happens in the rest of the books in the series. Anyways, I enjoyed it. Therese M. Clarke, I was not familiar with your pen game, sister, but I am here now. I cannot believe you had me stressed out about if this white man was going to be okay. I was stressed. Yeah, okay. Oh God, Ethics 6 by Ashley Antoinette. I know I said I wasn't going back over there. I lied. Okay. I wanted to finish it. People was talking about Messiah on the timeline. I said, let me just get through Ethics. So that way when I'm ready to go into Butterfly, I can just hop right in there. I'm gonna say maybe, and I will honestly say maybe for the entire Ethics series. It's a yes for me. It might be maybe for you. It's trauma after trauma after. It's just so much. It's so much. But if you are like a old school street lit urban fiction reader and you haven't been over to Ashley's house, I would absolutely recommend it. Um, you know, ain't no happily ever after. I guess things are okay. I guess I'm gonna see what's going on in Butterfly eventually. I'm gonna let B6 come out first, and then I will decide if I'm going over there, when I'm going over there, because I still got to read Christmas with the Okafors. Then I can start Butterfly. But I think all the Butterfly audiobooks are in Hoopla. So again, I'll get over there eventually. The last book that I finished was The Revelation of Dion Daphne by Mara Brockakill, which it's a maybe for me. I I I don't know. Like, it's rare that I don't know that I would say I'm indifferent on this book. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I'm it was good. It was cool. It was cool. And it's weird because I think the reason I feel so torn on this book, one, I don't like Dion, who is our FMC. I don't. And I will say that Dion is she is dealing with a lot, right? And I also had to remember that this book is taking place during the 90s and it is covering some extremely heavy topics. Matter of fact, trigger warning for child sex abuse, trigger warning for HIV. I don't necessarily know if that needs a trigger warning, but just HIV diagnoses, trigger warning for death. She's dealing with a lot, right? And so I try to put my brain into like the 1990s because I know a lot now in 2026 that I feel like if people knew this back then, they would act differently, right? But like just the way Dion spoke to the main male character, and like I'm drawing a blank on his name. He's a felon. He's gotten out of prison. He's trying to do right with his life. And from the very first moment they interact, she just talks to him like he is the scum of the earth. And I did not like that shit. And again, I get it. I get it. I get it. She is going through a lot. So I'm very empathetic to what she is dealing with. She has a lot on her plate. But the way that she dealt with the people in her life bothered me. I don't know. I ain't like the lady. I didn't. And like, I felt bad. And I was like, and do I not love this book because I don't like Dion? And that's not the case. I don't know, man. It was something about it just didn't click with me. And I wish I could put my like finger on what that is, but I can't. And it's also weird because it's Mara Brockakill. Like, she is a black girl royalty, right? And so like I don't know. I expected different. I will say DeWanda Wise for the audiobook, her performance was phenomenal. I think maybe it was too good. I wonder if I would have read this book with my eyes, if I would have digested it differently. Um, yeah, I don't know. I would say that everybody should read the book and form your own opinions because I know people who loved it. I know some people who found it very problematic. I will say I've seen some like murmurings of there being homophobia in the book, and I see where that's coming from. I also think it's important to keep in mind the time period in which the book takes place. I feel like it would be inauthentic to who we know Dion to be to address those things differently, if that makes sense. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying I can see why the decision was made to discuss those things and to have certain conversations and certain thoughts regarding Black gay men. Yeah, I don't know. Give it a shot. It was a quick read. I think I finished the audio in 2 days. And I probably could have knocked it out in one day, but I kept pausing it because Dion was getting on my fucking nerves. That's just it. Okay, so yeah, those are the 15 books I read in the month of July. Okay, so let's get into my August TBR. First of all, let's start here. Um, Remember back in June, I got on here and I was like, this is my summer reading list. And I gave y'all 10 books and I said, I got the physicals and I'm going to read them all by the end of summer. I ain't picked up a book from that list since June. All right. So I'm making those books my 10 before the end. This month from my summer reading list, which is now turned into my 10 before the end, I will be finishing Grown Women by Sarai Johnson. I will be Madu Beloved by Toni Morrison. I think I'm ready for it. I watched, and I gotta figure out how to link it, but I watched like a little 15-minute video on Beloved, and I think it opened my mind up to something else. So I'm ready to dive into that. And then I'm also gonna do 107 Days by Kamala Harris. So those are my 3 books from my 10 before the end that I'm going to finish in August. Also on my August TBR, I have I Medusa by Ayana Gray. I went and saw the Odyssey. Love the Odyssey. I said, hey, I need everybody's, give me all the retellings. Give me all the Greek mythology retellings. So I'm going to do I Medusa. I heard really good things about it. And I got this book before it came out because it was another Libro FM ALC. So I'm ready to get into that. And then Runner by Ashton Lattimore, which is a historical fiction. I'm going to get into that in the month of August as well. Okay, so that's my August TBR. Let's talk about my reading plans for the rest of 2026, okay? Because if you follow Brit over on Threads or Instagram, or really any of her platforms, she posted this challenge about reading 25 books from 25 Black authors. And I think, hold on, let me make sure because I be wanting to give credit. Okay, so Brit brought us the idea, and then the idea was done by Ty. I'm going to link them or post them both. If you're not following them on the socials, you absolutely should. But yeah, it's 25 books by Black authors in 25 genres. I think she's doing it for the month of August. I'm going to do this for the rest of the year. And the books can only be books that I already own. Which the genres are romance. I mean, y'all can see, but we'll go through it. Romance, romantasy, fantasy, sci-fi, thriller, romantic suspense, horror, mystery, literary fiction, historical fiction, young adult, women's fiction, rom-com, speculative fiction, dark romance, dystopian, classic literature, contemporary romance, dark academia, urban fiction or urban romance, paranormal romance, sports romance, queer LGBTQ fiction, a graphic novel, fairy tale, mythology, or classic literature retelling. I think the only one that I don't have something for already in my house, on my shelf, or in my Kindle or any of my audiobook platforms is a graphic novel. So I do, if you have Black graphic novel recs, you can please put them in the comments. Okay. But yeah, those are, and actually I'm gonna start this as of today. Yeah, I'm gonna start this as of today. Because I could probably go ahead and knock out all of the romance categories, but I have so many books that are just here. So I might as well force myself. Not when I say force myself, I don't mean like, oh, I gotta read them. I enjoy reading, so I'm not gonna read anything I'm not to enjoy or I'm not enjoying. But there are books that I have bought that have just been sitting for years. And it's like, girl, are we going to read this book? Are we going to hold on to it? Because I'm running out of space. And not running, I am out of space. I have to redo my bookshelves. I have to buy another bookshelf because I have like, y'all will see it. I have like a little corner right here of books that need a home. I have a book cart that has full of books on the inside. It has books stacked on top of it. I have book boxes that I have not opened yet because I don't have nowhere to put the books. So I've got to figure that out. But yeah, July was a good reading month. August is starting off very strong. I'm feeling like this is going to be a heavy reading month. I am going to make sure that I get through all 5 books on my TBR, and I will come back and tell y'all about them. But yeah, tell me what the best book you read in July was and one of the books from your August TBR in the comments. Thanks for giving me a little bit of your time, and I will see y'all a little later on. Bye.